We use a yellow ball, not the white one. Are we ready? Good match. Good match. Good match. Good match.
All right, there you see Hervé dos Santos in the forward position, Frédéric Fleureau at goal. That's Koen Leperc for Belgium in the forward position. He's excited. Of course, his partner, Erwin Boom Boom Metten, is always excited.
Let's go.
As the Belgians now in a position to potentially advance to the finals for the second year in a row. But the French sending out a strong team, Hervé dos Santos and Frédéric Fleureau, who will try to stop the Belgians, at least temporarily, from advancing to that second straight final. Starting off on the French home table, Koen Leperc puts it into play. So great performances in this match by two of the greats in the history of European table soccer, two guys who have been playing for probably more than 30, 35 years each, and possibly longer than that, but have really put on a show. And we welcome once again into the booth, Mr. Ben Mason. Hello, Mr. Mason.
Good morning, everybody.
This is Fleureau, a man who has competed for the French national team on many occasions, and of course his partner Hervé dos Santos is the coach of the men's team. He steals it away here.
Frédéric Fleureau is a very compact, very clever table soccer player. He approaches in a slow manner, and he really likes to do things in a basic way, but it's very effective.
Hervé dos Santos able to angle this one into the goal, so the French strike first in this opening game of this fourth round doubles match, and they understand the importance here. They simply need this match to stay alive. If we went to a fifth and final round, it would be a battle between two outstanding players, of course. The great Belgian Tom van de Kouter, who they have strategically placed in the fifth position, would face the great French player Sébastien Neckes. And right now, Hervé has come to play here in this opening game.
Yeah, it's nice to see Hervé dos Santos playing forwards. We've seen him all weekend playing in defense for his son, Miguel, in the doubles event. It's nice to see him playing forwards. He's a great forward.
Pass attempt by Leperc. He can't connect. This is Fleureau. Beautiful pass there, but Hervé can't hold on to it. The jar is called, however.
Let's go.
Apparently Leperc on the defensive move jammed the side of the table, didn't allow Hervé to catch it. Hervé can't take advantage of it, however, and it comes back to Fleureau. Belgium leading 2-1. That one zigzags up the table, and the chance here once again for Hervé to give his team a 3-0 lead as he shoots against Boom Boom Metten and strokes at home near side.
That's a really fantastic shot. Look at the lateral speed here. Look how deep he gets that near side. Circles
around it and strokes it home.
How do you do that, Jim? Oh.
Years and years of practice and experience. Great touch. These French pin shooters really do make it look easy. It's Leperc. Of course, we are on the French home table here. Head over to the Leonhard for game number 2. That one angled into the goal by Metten. Erwin Metten with a possession. Goes boom, boom on the back of the goal.
It's a really, really tight split there, Jim.
Stolen away here by Metten, who has moved into the forward position. Looks like he might stay up there. Let's see. Kuhn did not have a lot of success opening this first game up. Kuhn, Leperc, Erwin Metten do not play a lot of Bonzini. They play a little bit of Bonzini. And Metten able to pick this one up. Boom, boom. Tried to flick it to that far corner. The rebound comes to Hervé dos Santos.
Must have been tight on the time there, Jim. Must have been really close on that clock.
Hervé gets another possession here. Quick shot attempt again coming around the ball, but you saw Leperc back there move out and make the block, and Kuhn is a very good defender. Another opportunity here, though, for Hervé dos Santos, who will call timeout.
Yeah, Hervé dos Santos, for me, is one of the best players in the French team. I know we've got Miguel, Adel, Sebastian Marquez, we've got some Gaël Legrand, Julien Beck. We've got a great team. But Hervé dos Santos is he's a great forward. We know he's a great defender. But never underestimate how clever he is. He really is a student of table soccer. He's really learnt the game over the last 20 years. And I think sometimes he's a little underrated.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. And I don't think he minds. He doesn't need to be recognized as a big superstar of the sport. He just goes about his job and does it in a very efficient manner. That one bounces to the 3-rod of Metten. He's going to call timeout. Looks like he's going to bring Leperc back into that forward position to take the shot. Remains 3-1.
"15 seconds. First time up.
As Kuhn Leperc moves into the forward position, looking to pull within 1. Leperc tried to come to that near corner, taken away by Frédéric Fleurot.
Neither of the Belgians looking overly comfortable at the moment on the 3-bar.
Hervé tried to go back to that short side. And able to pound this one to the back of the goal. It's now 4-1. This is just what the French needed. Let's see, Hervé brings it over and then goes with a quick set to the near corner.
Go.
Leroux. Jabbed forward by Dos Santos and picked up by Leperc. It's 4-1 as the French attempt to come back, win this 4th round match, and take it down to one final singles match. Hervé dos Santos now with a chance to win this opening game, but Metten was there to make the block. Back comes Hervé. And he angles it between the men and then moves over to the Leonhard table. The French leading 1-0. Looks like Frédéric Fleurot will play the forward position on the Leonhard table. You can anticipate that Koen Leperk and Erwin Metten will come out with a better effort on their home table in the second game.
We discussed this before. The Bonzini's such a different table that if you can have two players who can play for different forward positions on the two tables, it saves you having to readjust and get used to your shot. So I think here you'll find this will happen with Frederic Fleureau. He's going to shoot a snake, I think.
France won the opening game, or rather opening match, 2-0. Then 2 in a row from the veterans, Bentivoglio, and then Carletta.
Let's go.
Bentivoglio and his partner Randy Ellierts have given Belgium the lead. But it is France who has come out to win the first game of this fourth round. And Frederic Fleureau steals the ball away as we get game number 2 underway. Metten now in possession. Shot down the middle on goal by Boom Boom, picked up by Koen. Fleureau. When you think of Frederic Fleureau and you think of Hervé dos Santos, you really don't think of multi-table players. They are traditional Bonzini players, but all of the French, all of the members of this French team have gotten better and better on all the different tables, including these two, and they've scored first here in this second game.
Yeah, I think what they've done quite intelligently is they've got players like Frederic Fleureau to go away and learn to play the forward on one of the different styles of table, so they've got a genuine switch option. I think it's a really smart move.
Hervé there defensively, and that one up into the air and off the table. The French trying to send it down to one final singles match. It would be Tom van de Kouter versus Sébastien Meckes. What a match that would be.
Two very intense players playing in that clutch match there.
Picked up here by Fleureau. Frederic Fleureau. Finds the hole down the middle. It's 2-0. Really took his time beautifully on this possession and then finds a very tight middle hole. Boom Boom Metten moving into the forward position. Koen Leperk back to goal. Boom Boom. Rowe on the defensive, steals it. Towards the goal. And this is Hervé. Fires that one on goal and then picked up nicely by Fleureau. He'll be shooting against Koen Leperk here. Goes into a snake grip. Shoots the snake shot once again. Let's go to the far side. Blocked away. Fleureau once again against Leperk. Again, Koen is there. That one hops down the table, picked up by Metten. Belgians still looking for their first point of this second game on their home table. Beautiful switch and block there by Hervé dos Santos.
Yeah, Fleureau's snake looks nice. I'd say his pull side is really, really good, but his push side certainly looks raceable. So I think that might be his slight weakness playing on the table that he isn't too familiar with. So that push side definitely is raceable.
Fleureau able to pick this one up off the back wall. And it's 3-0. A big-time performance by Hervé dos Santos and Frederic Fleureau, who have surged ahead 3-0 here in this second game and look like they are in very good position, Ben Mason. They even this semifinal up. Had 2 matches apiece. That one round after the block and then drops in. Some unhappy French fans in the crowd not liking that one.
Yeah, I think Fleureau and Santos here really are in the driving seat. All they've got to do is keep doing the basics they've done so far. Try and execute a pass, try and execute the shots, and not worry about what the Belgians are doing.
Kuhn back in the forward position. That one blocked and bounces back to him. The pair. Again, Hervé just doing a great job defensively. He is an impressive goalkeeper, no question about it. Fleureau through the lane. Frederic. Try to come near side. Metten was there with a block, and Kuhn Lepere able to pick it up. They need some offense from Kuhn. Shoot the snake shot. Will the far side went wide of the goal. See Kuhn Lepere shooting a snake shot.
Yeah, I saw him shooting that the other day in the doubles event, and he shoots it really well.
Something he has learned over the last few years, because Kuhn Lepere recognized throughout Belgium at the very least as an outstanding pin shooter. But on the different tables, you make adjustments. As Fleureau has done. He's going to call timeout with possession of the ball on his 3-row.
If we look at the strong French performances in the World Cup over the last 6-7 years, I think you could attribute a lot of that to Hervé dos Santos. He was one of the first exponents and believers of multi-table soccer. He'd owned his own ITSF training centre now for about 8 years, so he really is, for me, one of the leading lights in the French Association with multi-table, taking them away from just the Bonzini days through into this ITSF era of all the different table styles.
First time up.
Frederic Fleureau steps back to the table and puts the ball into play. And strokes it home. It's match point. Frederic Fleureau, who has played a solid forward position here in game number 2, able to find the near side of the goal. And the French now just a goal away from sending this down to one final match. Kuhn Lepere. Finally, Kuhn able to get on the scoreboard as he strokes that one home near side. It's 4-2.
Go.
I very much doubt Fleureau is going to be bothered by that. He looks so calm and so relaxed. He's just going to wait and do his thing.
We've got a timeout. French leading 4-2 here in the second game. Kuhn Lepere talking to himself, a very animated individual. Happy about this. Finds the near corner. But will it be a matter of too little too late? The Belgians are down 4-2 here in the second game, as the French attempt to tend it down to one final battle between Van de Kouter and Nantes.
There we saw a quick shot of the Polish referees, Filip Kubiatovic and Mateusz Wodala.
Frederic Fleureau. Tried to go to the far side, taken away by Metten. Erwin Metten down the middle with a shot up into the air and off the table. Be put back into play by Fleureau. Watch this as Metten looks for the hole, but finds Fleureau's man instead.
Regular listeners will know that what I say all the time about Hervé dos Santos. He scores crucial goals at crucial times. He's the type of player that can just score whenever he wants, I feel.
Here's Lepere with a pass attempt stolen away by Fleureau. Frederic's pass squirts through, and he's able to grab it. Another opportunity here for Frederic Fleureau to send this to a 5th and final round. And he does as it comes down the middle. So the French respond. Frederic Fleureau, Hervé Dos Santos defeat Koen Leperc and Erwin Boom Boom Menton. We're headed to one final singles round to see who will advance to the World Cup final.
There we see so far the story of the match, with the French taking an early lead. Two veterans of the Belgian team coming back to make it 2-1. And then a fantastic performance there really by Frederic Fleureau on the Leonhardt was for me the decisive factor in that match. Really made the Belgians pay on their own table, and it's 2-2. So fantastic fifth and final game matchup here. And I think for me, Tom van der Kouter on paper is slightly stronger, because I believe he's stronger on the Bonzini than Sebastian Meckes is on the Leonhardt. But as we've seen so far the whole weekend, the match on paper rarely goes the way we expect. For those of you that aren't familiar with Sebastian Meckes, he didn't play last year in the French national team. He was having some time away from the sport on the international scene. However, he did attend the Bonzini World Championship Series this year, played very well, and the French have managed to recall him to the team. He is a true multi-table player, but he is certainly, I don't feel, as strong on his opponent's table as Tom is on his.
Let's go.
Where Sebastian has the advantage, he's a very, very balanced individual. Although he's intense, he is a little bit more focused maybe than Tom might be at times. But as we heard in my interview yesterday, the job of the Belgian team is to keep Tom focused. If they can keep a focused Tom, then he really can do anything. Great steal there by Meckes. Meckes on the 3. Sets him in a pin position. He shoots a traditional Euro-style pin. Quick effort to the far side. Another quick effort to the far side, that's 1-0. So look here, he just explodes very quickly. Nice recoil, squares it off. 1-0.
Let's go. It was a technical timeout.
Tom's got such a lovely 5-bar, but be aware that sometimes he can be his own worst enemy and try to move around too quickly.
Sebastian Meckes has put France ahead in this opening game. We're starting off, of course, on the French home table. And Sebastian Meckes, a longtime member of the French national team. Outstanding player. Has played internationally, both overseas and here in Europe. And has had a great deal of success going up, of course, against a man who is somewhat of a legend in Belgium and in the world of European table soccer, Tom van der Kouter, who, despite the fact he may be a bit of an underachiever, has still won world championships and is still considered just a phenomenally talented player.
Yeah, I believe that having Meckes in the team this year, who was away last year, is a huge difference for them. I think it makes the French so much stronger.
And he has been put in this situation here of being the hammer for the French team and really needing to win in order to send them to the final. So that's why he's in this position. He is a clutch player. He is a guy that you don't face. And look at that. The pass, the shot, the score. It's 3-0. Great play by Sebastian Meckes. First the pass, and then immediately into the shot.
Let's go.
Sebastian Meckes has come out to get the first 3. Van de Cotter, who, as we know, is capable of exploding at any time. Tom sends it towards the goal, picked up by Sebastian. Away by Van de Cotter. It is 3-0 here in this opening game. Of course, it is the French home table. But Sebastian Meckes, Ben Mason, another one of these French players who is a very good multi-table player. We get a chance to see him here in this second game. Now to the Landhart table, and he's going to be up 1-0, it would appear, when we do head over to Landhart, because he's leading 4-0 right now, thanks to efforts like that.
Such a strong effort there, really, from Meckes. It's come straight out of the blocks, 4-0, and not to give Thomas Smith.
Make it 5-0 as he knocks that one into the goal. What a performance by Meckes. Over to Landhart we go. The French now just one game away from their first World Cup final.
I suppose the question you might ask yourself here, Jim, is there pressure on Tom? Is it extra pressure because he's Belgian #2 and Belgian #1 isn't here? Fred would be 1 on the scoreboard, so Tom's now that hammer. Tom's now that clutch player. So
can we start?
Pressure's really on him to get it done. It's a big shoe to fill.
It really is, and we talked about it earlier on. We felt Carletta, who really was the replacement in the lineup for Collignon, and played nearly as well in his match. But the pressure really has been more, I think, on the French team, because they've never reached a final, never won a World Cup. They're in their home country, and look at Van de Cotter off that outside wall. The Belgians came in with no expectations. They were not expected to win, maybe not even expected to get as far as they have. And so they've been pretty loose. Now, however, as you say, things might have changed a little bit. We're in a 5th round. Perhaps the pressure is indeed, as you say, on the guy who's generally considered the 2nd best player in Belgium. And again, off the outside wall. It's 2-0.
Tom says, you're going to keep leaving at me, I'm going to keep shooting it.
So, a strong effort opening things up for Sebastian Meckes on the French home table. The Bonzini is followed up by a great start on the Belgian home table by Van de Cotter.
15 seconds.
Tom is just so versatile. He can score from goal, he can score from forward. He's a great defender, a great singles player. Didn't show you much in that opening round, or in that opening game, as Meckes really took it to him on the Bonzini table, but he has come out to get the first 2 here. Meckes, however, able to pass this one through. Sebastian Meckes tried to go back to that far side, kept out by Van de Cotter, who is, after all, a world champion on this table in open doubles and pro doubles, teaming with Andreas Esterbauer of Austria. And stroking it home to the far side is Meckes. Well, everyone in the arena who is not French would love to see this one go down to one final game. Back and forth between the tables, a battle between these 2 great players with so much at stake. It would be exciting, it would be compelling.
And the Belgian team are quite an infectious team, and I'd say that 90% of people in the audience aren't French, would like Belgium to win, just because the team is so infectious. When you spend time with them, they're so kind and so happy that it does rub off on you.
Meckes now passing it through with an opportunity to tie it up at 2. Try to go to that far side, blocked away, comes around and goes to the other end of the table. Meckes steps back there to retrieve it. Now uses the left hand on the 2-rod, looking to pass. Knocked back towards it by Van de Cotter again, and Tom has that one scored away. It's going to roll to a dead stop.
But he scored 2 from here, Jim, so I'm not sure he's going to be too worried about that.
Sends that one up the table. He's able to retrieve it. He now sets it up. Try to come near side. Meckes with a block. It hops back to Van de Cotter, who converts to the far side. Tom switches to the snake grip and then rips it out to that far corner.
It's something we've seen a few of the younger Belgians do. Do you think that's in an effort to go more multi-table, to have that snake shot as part of your armory?
And that one slammed home off the rebound by Mekas. It's now 3-2. Could be, or that perhaps they just feel they can get it out to that far corner, in particular off that snake grip more quickly and more powerful. Watch this one come around off the back wall, catching Van de Cotter a little off balance and knocking it into the goal to pull the score up to 3-2 now. Van de Cotter along that near wall. Tom sets it up. So quick to the corners, tries to flip this one over near side, gets it back, resets in that snake grip, tried to take it out to the far corner. Blocked away, it bounces back to Van de Cotter, goes to the short side, Mekas with a block. Van de Cotter can't hold on to the pass, Mekas is able to grab it on his 5-rod. And call timeout. Great defensive series there for Sebastian Mekas.
That, in my opinion, might be a bad timeout. It gives Tom time to go away from the table, as he did then. He just had a quick chat with Siscoman and get his head together a little bit.
15
I think he
seconds.
was beating up on himself. I think that timeout might help Tom more than it helps Mekas.
Seconds.
Sebastian Mekas will step back to the table with possession on his 5-rod.
Time. 1-1 in timeout.
And he puts it into play. Leads 1-0. It trails 3-2. Van de Cotter so smooth at getting that left hand back there. Tom has scored twice from goal. Shot attempt taken away by Mekas. We can tie it at 3 here. But taken away again by the hustling Van de Cotter. Fortunate to get this one through. I don't know that that hit a defender or not along the way. It would have been an illegal advance if it did not. I think Van de Cotter thought perhaps it wasn't.
Wait. Yeah.
I'm not sure what the call is here. That's the correct call. Ball rolled to a stop. Filip Kubiatovic initially said put it into play at goal, then quickly corrected himself. This one bounced through the lane, and Van de Cotter again will set it up. Looking for a 4-2 lead. Try to come across with that far man. That's 4 blocks in a row now for Mekas. Van de Cotter from snake position. Fakes. Try to go to the far corner. Again, taken away by Mekas. And sent into the goal with the left hand by Sebastian Mekas. Using the left hand, he slides that one between the men. It's 3-3. The French can sense it.
Go.
That one angled on goal, kept out by Mekas. Boy, defensively, he has been spectacular during the course of this match. He has given up only 1 score from the 3-rod in 2 games. Van de Cotter trying to remedy that right here. Sprays that one wide of the goal. It comes up the table and is grabbed by Mekas, who will call timeout.
What a great player to be able to bring back into your national team. He really is just such a powerful player all around the table and on all the tables.
His skill is one thing, but it's his whole approach to the game. He's aggressive, yet he's calm, very poised. Pressure doesn't seem to get to him. Ideal for this situation.
That's who you need in your 5th leg. It really is, isn't it?
And he'll set it up here in pin shot position and look for the lead. Shot attempt blocked away by Van de Cotter, and Tom able to grab it on his 3-rod. Van de Cotter finds the hole down the middle with a big block followed by the big shot. Van de Cotter now has surged ahead 4-3 because of this. Only his 2nd 3-rod conversion during the course of this match, but it's enough to give him a 4-3 lead here in game number 2.
15 seconds.
The ever animated, ever intense Tom Van de Cotter feels he might have this. Look at his body language. He really, really wants it.
Mecca is coming back, passing it through. Sebastian Meckes tried to come near side the block. That one appeared as though it might drop in, but it's kept out by Van de Kouter. Tom trying to send it to a third and final game, puts that one on goal, then slides into the forward position to grab the rebound. Bounces it through the lane, a chance here to send it to a third and final game for Tom Van de Kouter. And he does, with authority. So this match has all come down, Ben Mason, to one final game. It'll be Meckes versus Van de Kouter. We'll start with one on the Bonzini table and then move for two on Leonhardt, back to Bonzini for two until someone reaches 5 and wins by 2.
It's quite interesting. If you look here in the bottom, in the left-hand corner of your screen, you saw Tom celebrate all of his team. Then he walked over to Arturo Coletta for some technical advice. Everyone goes to the old veteran.
Here we go, 5th and final game underway, and Van de Kouter keeps that effort out of the goal by, again, getting the left hand back there so quickly. Van de Kouter sends it up the table, comes back to him. Tom, once again, in possession in the goal area. Clock remains running, and he knows that. He's going to call timeout. Van de Kouter and Meckes. One game divided up between 2 tables to see which team will reach the finals. Will it be France, who are looking for their first ever World Cup, or will it be Belgium, who are looking for their 2nd in a row?
First time up.
As Van de Kouter puts it back into play. Tom sends that one up the table, and Meckes sends it right back along the near wall. Sebastian Meckes tried to come near side. Van de Kouter with a block.
I'd say Tom needs to score this because Meckes was so good on the Leonhardt.
Sent up the middle. Picked up here by Meckes in the goal area. He'll use the left hand. Blocked away by Van de Kouter towards the goal. This time Meckes able to retrieve it. Sebastian passing it through the lane. Another chance here to strike first in this 3rd game. Meckes down the middle. It's 1-0. Over to Leonhardt we go.
The familiar annual shout we get to hear Jim every year about Les Les Bleus.
Over to the Belgian home table we go with the Frenchman. Sebastian Meckes leading 1-0. The hopes of an entire nation rest on the shoulders of Mr. Meckes. He's able to pick this one up on the 3-run. Shot attempt blocked by Van de Kouter. It hops up the table. Tom as it squirt back to him in the goal area.
Plenty of spin on that ball.
Off the outside wall, off the inside wall, and grabbed by the quick hand Van de Kouter, who sets it up. Tries to come back down the middle, blocked by Meckes. Van de Kouter again. Try to come near side, partially blocked off the wall and into the goal. It's 1-1. Watch here as he tried to chip away at the near corner. Hit it off the man, the spin carried it into the goal. And on this Leonhardt table, you can really get some spin on that ball.
Yeah, the ball reacts in quite a weird way. The first bounce, the spin doesn't grab, but the second bounce, it really takes, and the ball can move in many directions.
Meckes coming back, looking to steal one here, and he does. It's 2-1. Back to Bonzini we go. Van de Kouter puts on the glove, gets the ball down on his 5-row. He really needs one of these two, as Mekkes was able to steal one on the Belgian home table. Van de Kater tries to pass along that wall, knocked back to him in the goal area. Using the left hand, turns it over. Picked up by Mekkes. And we've got a timeout. Sebastian Mekkes and the French national team 3 goals away from the World Cup final. They would face the winner of the USA-Luxembourg match, which will take place in a little over an hour here in the finals area.
5 seconds.
Putting it back into play is Mekkes. And he finds the hole near side. It's 3-1. This becomes an almost must point for Van de Kater as we look at the shot again. Nothing fancy, just effective.
Let's go.
Huge moment for Tom and for the Belgian team here.
Van de Kater tried to go along the wall, taken away by Mekkes. And he's got a chance here to go up 4-1 and really put the French team in the driver's seat. Mekkes tried to come near side. Van de Kater with a big block, sends it off that outside wall.
Struggling to think of more than two.
And into the goal with a left hand. Sebastian Mekkes will return to the Leonhardt table with opportunities to win the match. Watch this, left hand proves it just into the corner.
I'm struggling to think of an occasion or 2 occasions where Tom's made passes on the Bonzini. I think his 5 bars where he's been weak on that Bonzini table.
Seconds. 5. Second time.
French crowd getting involved. Their heroes are 1 goal away from advancing to the final here at the World Cup. And Van de Kater now back on his home table, puts it into play. Bounces that one towards the goal, and Mekkes in possession of the ball. Sebastian will again use the left hand, this time to pass. He has been effective shooting it as well. Works this one to his 5-rod, now steps into the forward position. It is overall match point for the French. Sebastian Mekkes with a chance to send Le France to the final. And he does. France defeats Belgium in 5 matches. And they will be in the 2013 ITSF World Cup of Table Soccer Championship Final. There you see the match winner as Mekkes comes through when they need him the most, but that's not unexpected for this great clutch French player.
You did good, ref. 5 times you let him jog. 5 times you let him do it. Well, cool. Gazouk zie je er
That one wasn't. That one wasn't.
You did it. I was on the table when he called some foul.
So there you see it, the final scores as France wins 2-0,
We both say it's not foul.
0-2, 1-2, 2-0, and 2-1. 3 matches to 2. To advance to the World Cup final, and what a great performance by Team France.